they bring an engineer who doesn't know the good work of building these walls. When the water comes, they destroy everything.
In Moroto District, the harsh dry season has pushed residents to return on an old-age but innovative solution, digging into riverbeds to find clean, life-saving water. Across Karamoja, many rivers that once flowed during the rainy season have now dried up, but beneath the surface, hidden in the sand, water remains stored, protected from the scorching sun and preserved through natural filtration. By digging wells into the riverbeds, communities are able to access this clean water long after the rains have disappeared. To support this traditional method, the humanitarian organization Welthungerhilfe has stepped in with a modern enhancement, the construction of sand dams in Naput village, Rupa Sub-county. These dams create strong barriers across seasonal rivers, preventing water from flowing away. Instead, the water slowly seeps into the sand where it is stored and filtered, providing a dependable source of clean water for both households and livestock.
My name is Gilbert Wangoli, expert civil engineer for Welthungerhilfe. We have made an intervention of a sand dam at the side of Naput, Rupa Sub-county. The sand dam came out of a concept that, we have perennial rivers in Karamoja, which are two seasonal. We have only 2 seasons in a year. So you find that in the dry spell, people lack water for the domestic use and for the animal use, for their livestock, being a pastoralism community. So this idea came in that, traditionally people have been doing what they call scoop holes, where they go to the river and then kind of dig water. But you find much of the water is always lost during the time of the rainy season where it flows. And then for them to get water, they excavate up to around 2-3 meters deep, which has been risking the lives of the animals, just because they wanted to get some water. So the sand dam now has a bit cut all these kind of challenges that have been having down, in a manner that with the sand dam, since we made a reinforced concrete wall, much of the sand is blocked, whereby it does not go with the water. So since the sand has been harvested much, there's also a lot of water being harvested inside the water. And so this water is safe from all these other contaminants, whereby it undergoes a natural filtration process. So the water now it's beneath the sand, which is much in the quantity. Right now they don't need to dig a lot of deep scoop holes. They can just go now with their small hands and they get water from there. So this water is present throughout the dry spell, because it does not go undertake evaporation process, since it is covered beneath the sand. So now this thing has helped the vegetation around. There has been the ground recharge, where you see that the vegetation has kind of sprouted, it's so green, and then also they are doing vegetable gardens besides that, where they are doing.
The purpose of this sand dam, it's mostly being used during dry season, when there is no water. That's why they have used that kind of a hole. That hole, it is to stop the sun from being carried away from this side. The more the sun is heaped here, so the more water is going to be collected here. And that's why during dry season you find that now all the cattle keepers around will come and begin, opening now their sun. You open something like 1 meter or 1.5 meters, and then you just get clean water. And this is now where the animals will be drinking water for the entire season of the dry spell. So that's the advantage of this thing here in the dry season. Because part of the other water, which is behind the other side of the hole, will get finished in a short time. So now when they get finished, you find that now all the cattle keepers now will follow the whole of this river out to somewhere there in the middle. Each cattle keeper will make sure that
the intervention is already transforming lives. Hundreds of residents now have improved access to clean water, reducing the long distances they previously walked in search of safe sources. For livestock keepers, the impact is even more significant.
Amatana. Akajagda amatana nui. Imujito ngada na amatana. Ipetarito nui.
That this dam has fed him and even his
Eya yona bena ngulane.
he also have another one called Namurulai.
Gwanda kujuwala nyota.
It has some minerals.
Wale. Na bana ngade to ko ni ngitane. Sama zenga bari to takona ni to nuta jara na ya. Ya na jona na ya. Ujamda kalamno na ipetarda.
That issue will also fetch water from here, and as well they get gold, then sell and they buy pencils.
Anto kana woni woni kana karulo. Itemo kuno je kwa yo chimono ngoni tane. Ak aliyeli mono gone ne ta no mo jibi ada gundra ba aliyeli akati go dalo kwa. E bi to no kwa ne. Kedele kana ne ge to no kwa.
Ikitiya ka vai borni ka jokon.
I've done a good thing.
Watra kipino. Amasta ngi bore lu ko ala ka kipino.
Most of them take
Ma tuk ma kine ngiti en kan tunga. Ai tina yu akin tane ge ara ko tere anda Naput. Eptelo kolongar ko ne Naput e woni.
Why they put this place because of Naput, as the time when they put Naput on was too dry.
Na e bokire do akare pakatana tan mitunga kan ka pein kan ka are ya kai to makare.
They would dig here, even 6 people could go down and they could not get water.
Akuru nga kipino ya mazio.
To get water for drinking.
Ani bene uni wa kanga gimpilo ga gwa gine apata kata gbian ko na ya kai diama.
So when Welthungerhilfe came to do this sand dam, it's not very easy for them to access water from the dam.
Yero ko na de pero ya ke bako achi bobo yu ba kujia to ya kan nga gipiki nga panaga.
They cannot again dig again another well somewhere when there's already water.
Moroto District Veterinary Officer Dr. Moses Okino says cattle keepers can now collect water using traps placed in the small wells dug within the riverbeds. Although the amount of water may vary depending on the rainy season, he notes that the sand dams provide critical relief during the prolonged dry spells that often threaten both people and animals.
As you saw, on one side water is pulled together, but in the event that water reduces or even disappears due to the effect of evaporation, there is water beneath the sand that can be harvested by digging.
With continued investment and community involvement, the sand dam system is offering hope, promising a sustainable local solution to Moroto's chronic water shortages. Story compiled by Godfred Eyoku, Uganda Radio Network, Karamoja.